Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the JayDub Show. I'm your host, JayDub. Before I get started with this review for the episode of SmackDown that aired Friday, March 13th, 2009, just like to say thank you so much to all of my 440 subscribers. Even more thanks to people that keep the channel rolling by rating the videos, commenting, favoriting the videos, and sharing them with your friends on YouTube. This episode of SmackDown, it was a pretty stacked show. It had 6 matches, only I think maybe 1 or 2 promos, and yeah, 6 matches. Most of those were pretty good. First match tonight, Edge defeats Kofi Kingston. I wonder why did they put Kofi Kingston in a match against the World Heavyweight Champion. But that aside, it was a very good match. Edge actually got down to the characteristics of why he should be a champion, why he should have the World Heavyweight Championship. But with me, the first thing that comes to mind with Edge, coward, cheater, things like that. But he really proved himself in the ring tonight against Kofi Kingston. None of the shenanigans, none of the antics, none of the situations involving Guerrero. He just got in the ring and delivered a pretty good performance. And also Kofi Kingston was pretty impressive. He's impressed me more and more, with his matches against people like Chris Jericho and now the World Heavyweight Champion Edge. Second match of the night, The Miz and John Morrison. Oh, and I must say, I think I said in my last video that Carlito and Primo's titles were on the line in this match, and their titles weren't on the line. It was The Miz and Morrison defending their World Heavyweight Championships. World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, however you say it, against the Clones. And Miz and Morrison ended up retaining their titles. This was it was a pretty good match. Like I said, I always like when all 4 of these guys get in the ring, because all 4 of them are my favorites. But when you compare this match to the previous matches they've had in the past, it wasn't the best match, but it was still a pretty good match. Third match tonight, Shelton Benjamin and Chavo Guerrero defeat MVP and R-Truth. So this ends MVP's winning streak. And Shelton Benjamin, he seemed a little bit off his game tonight. He wasn't selling moves right, and he looked pretty off of his game, but he ended up winning the match along with his partner Chavo Guerrero. Next, there was a segment, a promo. Matt Hardy comes down to the ring, and this was one of the more personal promos that he's cut about his brother. He goes on to talk about how he couldn't compete in WrestleMania last year because he was suspended. He didn't say what he was suspended for, but he said he was suspended, and we all know, or at least some of us know, that was the year, WrestleMania 24, Jeff Hardy was supposed to win the Money in the Bank ladder match and go on to cash it in and win, I think, the WWE Championship. But his rise to that heavyweight level was delayed because of his suspension. And so Matt Hardy goes on to talk about how Jeff's house burned down. He goes on to talk about how his dog died, and he also was talking about how he couldn't compete at WrestleMania last year because he was injured, and he was pissed off at the fact that more people were worried about Jeff being out of action for suspension than they were about Matt for being out of action with a legitimate injury. So like I said, he was talking about Jeff's dog, the dog that died in the fire. So then he goes to pull out this collar out of his pocket, this half of a collar, and he was saying how he saved that ever since the fire, and he was finding the right moment to give it back to Jeff. So this is the moment that he chooses. Jeff came out. He started airing his frustrations against his brother and everything. So he finally lashed out at him. He started fighting everything, punching him, knocking him out and everything. So then Matt rolls out the ring, and that was the end of that. Fourth match tonight, Women's Champion Melina teams up with Maria to face Divas Champion Maryse and Michelle McCool. Melina and Maria ended up winning this match. Melina got, I think, a roll-up pin on Maryse. When Maryse went to go get tag in Michelle McCool, she wouldn't even tag her in. Then after the match, they got into this it was like a cat fight basically, and yeah, so I guess they're talking up this feud once again between Maryse and Michelle McCool, but both of them are still, heels though. So it'll be exciting to see what happens coming out of this. And specifically on the match, it wasn't as bad as like the Maryse and Eve Torres match. Like I think it either last week or the week before last, but yeah, it was an okay match. It wasn't one of the better Divas matches that I've seen, but it was okay. Maria wasn't totally horrible in this match. Fifth match of the night, Money in the Bank qualifier, Finlay versus D. Brian Kendrick. Finlay ends up winning this match with the Celtic Cross finisher, so he's the last person to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Let me see if I can get all of the participants. We have Kane, CM Punk, and I'm lost now. Okay, Mark Henry, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, R-Truth, Christian, and Finlay or Kane, whichever one I didn't say. But yeah, it was it was a good match. Sixth match of the night. Final match, main event, Undertaker defeats Vladimir Kozlov with a combination of the choke slam, then he goes into the tombstone pin. And yeah, he won the match. This was it was a Vladimir Kozlov match, so that's self-explanatory to how it was, but whatever. Yeah, I guess that's where I'll end this review. Oh, and before I go, I'll just show this ticket that I got. It's let me see if I do this right. Okay, yeah, that's the Ring of Honor to a show, a ticket to the Ring of Honor show, June 26th in Detroit at the Michigan State Fairgrounds. And if I can get the actual damn ticket, I'm trying to get it out of my drawer, but yeah, I have it right here. It only cost me like $26, and it's like a front row ticket, front row first seat. I ordered it online, and yeah, it was advertised as a second row ticket, but they had like this promotional code that you put in to get like 10 or 15 or 20, I forgot what it was, but a certain percentage off the price. So I put that in, got that off. Then when they sent it in the mail, I got it like last week or the week before last, and it was a front row ticket. So yeah, that was a pretty good deal. It's listed as $50 on here, so I got it for almost half of that. So yeah. And just so clear the record, a lot of people say I'm like a WWE mark or whatever. WWE is my favorite promotion. I really don't like TNA, but for Ring of Honor, this is going to be my second show that I'm going to see Ring of Honor. I've only been to one WWE show, so yeah, I do like Ring of Honor. That comes in second after WWE. TNA, I think it's at the bottom of my shoe. Yeah, but I guess that's where I'll end this review. Make sure you rate, subscribe, comment, and yeah, it's not too long. Let me stop talking. Let me end the video now. Peace out.